Hey guys, All Sports 83 sporting another video at you, and today is going to be our Camber Cup Series race at Texas. Don't want to waste any time, want to jump right into all the action. There was quite a bit of it, so don't want to waste any time. We're going to jump right into it. So as you can see here, I started in a third position. Nice little starting spot here. The low line is a good place to start on these starts and restarts. So this was a lot of fun, and take a look at this first opening portion of the race. So we had quite a few cautions to start this race out. You can see we're on lap 14 here. I went ahead and skipped a lot of that. Nothing really happened around me, so there's just a lot of cautions, and we would just did some pit stops and things like that. So I thought I'd just go ahead and skip that and just kind of get back to some of this action here. But you know, pitting kind of set me back in the pack just a little bit, and so now it's up to me to try to race my way back through there if I can. So basically that's kind of the position I'm in at this point. So I'm forcing myself here on the outside. I'm running really hard. I want to try to get around this 12 car so I can get back into a rhythm. We get real close there. Just the cars want to wash up toward the wall there. It's really difficult when you're running side by side coming off too. So it was a really tight corner, but managed to get through there and see if we can get back into it a little further. All right, skipping ahead just a little bit here. Took me a long time to get to the rear of this one car. He was running pretty fast, so but finally was able to try to set him up just a little bit, and just had a really good run through 3 and 4. Was able to put me in the second position. So. Alright, so basically gonna take it to the rest of the way this first stage, and I was able to win this stage really through pit strategy. I took 2 tires, get me out front, and really kind of got that one on pit strategy, but it's always nice to get a stage win. So restarting here to get stage 2 underway. And so just really with all these starts, everybody's racing pretty closely, so you know, kind of have to stay on it and do the best we can. So we'll just see what happens. So after another caution, everybody went down pit road, and I was able to maintain the lead through those round of pit stops. And so we're basically going to get right back to it here. Got the 4 car on my outside, and the 24 car behind me. And so again, you know, same song, different verse. Just try to get a good start, find a quick rhythm, and just try to make sure you keep those guys behind me. And you know, it works well a lot of times, but a lot of times, you know, guys get a little better rhythm than you, and really just doing the best you can. Alright, skipping ahead a little bit here. So here comes the 17 car. You know, Fluffy through some pit stops, just seemed to have pretty rough strategy. He goes right around me, and then I get into a little battle here with Walking Avenger. You know, we're racing pretty close. He's got a pretty fast car at this point, so we're just really doing everything we can to stay in front of him. Then there's a huge wreck that takes place behind us, and so obviously it brings out the caution. And so now I'm in third, coming off pit road as we get going here on the restart. A lot of times in these cautions, you always get guys who either stay out or they'll take 2 tires. So you never really know what to expect when it comes to the pit strategies and cautions and things like that. So you always seem to find yourself in a little different position than you think you might be. But that's part of it, and we just got to do the best we can. So I'm able to work myself around the 12 car here, and so I'm ready to start setting myself up for this 24. If I can get to him and set him up kind of much like I did the 1 car earlier, I do feel like the car is pretty good. But as I begin to do that, the 17 car just gets a huge run on me, just goes right around me, and kind of upset my plans to try to take the lead there. So that's just the way it works. You just gotta continue to keep fighting and trying to get better all the time. So I have a pretty good run here on the 24 car, so I decide I'm going to try to get underneath him, and then he goes for the block, and we just made just a little bit of contact. Now we save it, but I guess for some reason a caution takes place behind us, which probably saved me just because I'd lost so much speed. And so now we're on to the restart, and then we had some contact here. Somebody missed a shift or something, and it kind of ruined the restart for both me and Fluffy. So again, another thing that happens, sometimes you miss a shift and it just makes things sometimes you pay for it, just the way it is. But so really it's just about getting into another rhythm, and just when you start thinking about how you're going to do that, in this position a wreck takes place in front of me, so a lot of guys go around there. I was able to miss all that, and now put myself in the 6th position. Then I pit on pit road. A lot of guys stay out, so now I'm near the tail end of the field again for this restart. And so again, I like being on the bottom. Want to try to take advantage of that restart, and try to again find that rhythm and just work around guys. So as you can see, it's a pretty tight field. Everybody's running some really fast lap times. Everybody's kind of right on top of each other. So obviously it's a challenging field, but I'm able to kind of utilize the draft and just try to hold a tight, smooth race car. See the 24 gets into a little trouble there, and so a caution comes out behind me, and then under caution here, we're doing some pit strategy moves here, and the 17 car goes on, and then at the last minute I decide to stay out because I had pitted the caution before, and so I felt like my tires would be just fresh enough to try to hold off the field, and if a couple of the guys stay out with me. I think maybe the 21 did. I'm pretty sure the car on the outside of me did there, and so basically if I can just get into a rhythm, keep a gap, I'll be fine. Apparently a caution comes out as we're getting ready to come to the white flag, and so that stage ends under caution, and I get another stage win. So the back-to-back stage wins feels good. Maximum playoff points and really points for the championship. After pit stops, I want to start in the 2nd position. Unlike the bottom lane, again, most of these races it's like this. If you start on that outside lane, you're really at a disadvantage. But at this point, I'm just trying to just kind of settle in and see if I can work my way back around these guys if I can. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But that's just the way it goes. So another caution comes out, so we're ready for another restart here. And this time I do get the inside lane, and man, that outside lane really didn't get a good start there. Maybe somebody missed a shift, and so I think I go from like 7th or 9th to 4th in an instant. And so I was really a benefactor of that restart for sure. So again, it takes me quite a while to catch up to this 1 car. So now it's really like a repeat of what took place in stage one. So we go to a racing battle here. I was able to get around him in that moment, but he comes right back on me here. He's in my rearview mirror, so I'm really paying attention to him. I want to see if I can try to keep him behind me and maybe try to use the field to my advantage. Basically, caution comes out. I restart in second, so again, I'm a little worried I might lose a position or two just starting on that outside lane. I do get a pretty good start here, which is a little surprising just because of how bad the outside lane is. So at this point, I've only lost one position. So now if I can get in the draft of this 21 car, I can kind of get myself clear, and then I can work myself back down to the bottom. And that's pretty much what I did. And so really, all things considered, it's a pretty successful restart if you're starting on the outside. So then I work myself under the 21 car, try to get that second position back to try to set myself up to see if I can follow Fluffy and try to figure out a way to keep up with him, get around him, and try to make something happen. So fast forward a little bit here. I'm still following behind Fluffy, but I'll tell you, J Harris 34 I never separated from him. He stayed right with me. And something happens to the 17 car up ahead of us. He gets in the grass, causes a huge chain reaction, and big wreck takes place and brings out the caution. So, basically everything we were doing now, everything gets reset. And so after everybody pits, now I'm stuck in the 5th position. But again, I get that inside line, so I want to try to utilize that, get kind of the luck of the draw almost, and that puts me back in 3rd place immediately. So now I feel like I'm kind of back where I was, even though I'm one position back. But it's an opportunity now to really try to go back to the whole idea of setting myself up to try to get this win somehow. So for the 3rd time, a lot of hard work to get around that one car. He was really fast. But really, I do feel like I have probably the 2nd best car at least. And so fast forward a little further here. But I'll tell you, it doesn't matter if you're the 2nd or 3rd best car. I mean, you're not really going to get away from a lot of guys. And then I made a huge mistake here, just trying to keep the car to the outside. I was going to arc that corner, and I got into the wall, and it just kind of ruined my momentum and threw me back into the 4th position. So all that hard work kind of goes out the window, and now I have to kind of get right back into it and try to redo what I was doing. So I make a pretty aggressive move under the one car. I didn't lift a whole lot, but was able to make that move. And then caution comes out, so now we're kind of back to the restart, stuck on that high line again, and have to see what happens. The 14 car gets them outside. I think there might have been some conversation about maybe jumping the start, but he did back off, so he did the right thing there. It happens. Sometimes you're just trying to time it just right, and but he did the right thing, backed off, and was trying to race the right fair. Then I kind of get in the back of the car in front of me, kind of gets me in the wall. So again, just more mistakes that I got to try to clean up. We're going to come down to it here. Then we're 3 wide for a moment, but everybody kind of holds their line, and so now we're just back to it, trying to win. And then there goes the 24 car. He got into some trouble, but that's going to bring out the caution. I think that brings out the caution. Maybe we're racing it back. I'm not really sure. We'll have to take a look. So that caution does come out, and so now I'm stuck in 7th place, which even though it's the inside line, it's a little too far back, being this late in the race. And so I'm a little concerned that I really don't have much of a chance at winning this race at this point. So, but all you can do is just drive as hard as you can and try to have a fast run, and we'll see what happens. That's basically the way you look at it. So we're fast forwarding here right toward the end, and we're all over each other here. The one car gets in a little trouble, goes down the infield, and then a huge block from the 17 gave me a big run, and then I kind of overdrove getting into the corner. I kind of clipped the apron a little bit. I think if I'd not hit the apron, it would have been a lot better, but I had to steer so hard to the left because of the block that the 17 put on the 24, and then it kind of ruined the 24's day. And then as we're coming off turn 2 here, the 19 kind of comes up in into me, knocks me into the wall. This is basically the last lap, and it really hurt my day. And basically, I get saddled with a 10th place finish. So a very disappointing finish on the day after having what I felt was probably the second best car. And but days like that happen, and that's pretty much the way it works. As we take a quick look at the points, I was able to hold on to second, even though Fluffy built that lead with the victory. But that's it for this video. We're off to Kentucky Speedway for the next race with the Camber Cup Series. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a good one.